It really is kind of like Walking Dead. And it's funny because I've never seen Walking Dead, but it's very... Well, I've seen clips of Walking Dead, and I've seen episodes of Walking Dead, but Last of Us is...
Have you seen the entirety of Last of Us? Or
yeah, so I'm all caught up because it's I think
Still
the season
going.
finale is in like a week or two, so it's still like
Oh.
dropping. It's still active.
Are
but
you head on a swivel for it?
Yeah, I do. Like, so I played the video game way back when, like 10 years ago.
So is the show based on the game?
It's a show based off a game. So you know how like Mortal
Word.
Kombat, like the movies are based off the games. You know, it's
Yeah.
like one of those type shits. And
Okay. Shouts.
so yeah, really quick, we already hopped on. I kind of bombarded you, but hey, Bice are in the back.
The Bice.
Bice are back in the back.
The back. The Bice are in the back.
Hey, but hey, what a good way to start off because I actually, we should talk about The Last of Us. It is a good show. So I would say we're show guys. I mean, I'm becoming
Let's
a
give
show
it up
guy.
for that. Let's give it up for
Let's
that.
go.
Live crowd, thank you.
Hey, thank you guys for
So
watching,
good at
by
clapping.
the way.
So good at clapping. It's
Keep
crazy.
watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, all that shit. But yeah, Last of Us. Yeah, you've seen Game of Thrones. I've seen Game of Thrones. We're big TV. Well,
Shouts.
I'm getting into TV shows. I've got a list. I'm checking it twice. You know, I ran through Game of
Santa
Thrones.
Claus Randy. Santa Claus Randy.
I ran through Peaky Blinders. I ran through The Office like 3 times. I ran through what other shows? Euphoria. I've seen a lot of shows. Can't name them all. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, too many to count. Too many to count.
But I used to never be a TV show person. Not that I wasn't. I just like I didn't really care to.
Mm.
And now I'm just kind of going out of my way because I feel like I missed out on a lot of TV shows. Like Black Mirror is one I had to catch up on.
Black
Mirror's
Mirror.
fantastic.
That's a good one, yeah.
So many good shows. So
Shouts.
definitely. What we're talking about right now is The Last of Us. If you guys have seen it, it's currently still going. Season finale, I think, is either this week or next week.
How many seasons so far?
This is the first season.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is completely new. So that's why it's going to talk about fresh, on the mind. Everything's going. It stars the Viper from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is
Pedro
that him
Pascal,
right there?
That's him right there.
The Viper.
Prince
Wow.
Oberyn. Hey, people forget Prince Oberyn killed the Mountain, and then the Mountain killed him, but then the Mountain died. But still, he killed the Mountain. But people forget.
Kind of.
He killed the Mountain. Oh, spoiler alert! Fuck! Damn it! Shit! I forgot to put a spoiler alert. Damn.
I mean, we can edit one in.
We're gonna have to bleep that out. Well, spoiler alert: Prince Oberyn, the Viper, kills the Mountain. Fighting for Tyrion's, not his John, fighting for his honor.
Kind of kills the. Well, he does, but he gets brought
kills
back
him,
to life.
but then he
kinda.
was like, "Oh, I want to hear you, admit to what happened to his family."
He could have offed him, right?
He could have
but
offed
then-
him, but he was too prideful. He wanted to hear him admit it.
Yeah, the Viper's a interesting guy. He has that.
Him and his John like to just fuck other people.
Yeah,
together.
one of his sayings, I forget. This isn't it
You miss out on like
verbatim.
the loves of life or whatever.
No,
Something
it's
that.
like if you're heterosexual, you miss out on 50% of the population that you're not.
Yeah, you just miss out on like a lot of
banging,
love or something.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he says it's a waste.
Which I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. But I mean, everyone's got preferences.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just what it is.
The Viper shouts.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like easily top 2 best TV show ever, regardless of the ending. But yeah, Last of Us, honestly.
Where's Last of Us on your list? Top 1?
I don't know. It's
not 1.
It's actually really, really good. So The Last of Us, I played the game back in like 2010 when it dropped. I was so young, and what was I, like 12?
Is it about zombies? Like, I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, so the
don't spoil it now. Don't
no,
spoiler alert.
No spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
No spoilers. But the gist of Last of Us is it's set in an apocalyptic, Boston. Actually, it's set in Boston.
Shouts.
Yeah.
Give it up. Clap for that.
Basically, a fungal virus infects people like shrooms. Shrooms takes people over. It's based off a real life thing. Actually, it's based off this thing called cordyceps. Have you heard of it?
Cordyceps.
Cordyceps.
No.
So cordyceps is a real life mushroom that grows
fungi.
Fungi,
Yeah.
and it actually can like take over insects. So it's powerful enough to infect insects, and it like changes them biochemically and like has a hive mind where it controls like insects like bugs and ants and things like that. And like what we'll do with the ants is like The ants will just infect each other by like spewing out spores. It's like a real life thing. It's legit.
So it's like real life zombies for ants.
It's real life zombies for ants. Yes.
But in the show, it's hitting people.
So in real life, the reason why it can't affect humans is because it can only survive in certain like temperatures, and our body heat, as we know, like hovers around like 98 degrees Fahrenheit.
Shouts.
Like so, that's like room temp, right? So fungi can't.
Room temp is actually 70.
Is that true?
Room temperature is 70. You don't want your room to be 98. You want your body to be 98.
Yeah, you're right.
Body temp.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. So body temp is 98 degrees, and basically the fungi can't survive because it's too hot. But in the show, basically it explains that it's able to, it adapts, yada yada, and so it affects people. Apocalyptic world, and there's just this guy Joel, that's who Pedro Pascal, aka the Viper. You know, he has a task that he has to do, and it's a good show because it is a zombie show. It's a zombie game, but like,
it almost seems like it's real though. Like it's a real
it's very
bacteria, real fungi.
Right. So it's not true undead, right? Zombies is the undead, right?
Yeah.
This isn't undead. This is like a fungal virus,
living
bacteria virus.
This is living
like mind control, essentially.
Yeah.
It's and you act like a zombie.
Like so, all hail plankton.
Exactly, all hail plankton.
Like the chum buckets.
It's literally the chum buckets
on your head.
There's no way like to fix it. So, but the reason why it's so beloved and why everyone loves the game, the show so much, well, one, not because it's good, but two, it's because it has like such a deep, like, premise. It's very.
What do you mean by that?
It's very relatable. It just got some. I don't want to spoil anything because you got to watch to find out. But like,
spoiler.
It just got a lot of deep shit, like shit that everyone could relate to and resonate with. Like,
okay.
It's pretty much like a daughter-father connection. Tale, right? But that girl isn't his daughter.
Okay.
So he becomes like a surrogate father type deal. Well, no, that's not a spoiler. That's made aware. But
they have that sort of relationship.
Not, I mean, you got to watch to see them grow. But like, he's just a very like in the apocalypse, he's very sheltered. You know, got to watch out for because everyone's trying to fuck you over, kill you, shit like that. A lot of like rival gangs, cults, shit like that. And it's apocalyptic, so it's just
no
free
rules.
for all. No rules.
Yeah.
So
like
you have
the Purge.
Yeah, he just becomes this hardened guy, and you just see him open up a little bit. So it's just I don't know, it's nice, but it's fucking dark. It gets dark. It's not an easy show to watch.
Wow.
But I highly recommend it. Ty, you got to watch that.
Highly recommend. Let's go. I mean, give it up.
I think Shadi would like it. Hundo P.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Actually, she probably might not. It's sad as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, there's a time and place for
just getting
shows
your
like
feels
that.
A little bit.
Yeah, getting your feels like.
But it's also got some zombies, so you get a little hyped up because a little spooky,
a little adrenaline rush,
little just like. Some
are you a horror movie guy?
I'm a big horror. I'm just a big media fan. Like I'm a big movie, music, everything fan. But I do like horror movies. Yes, I'm an avid fan.
Yeah.
I don't say I wouldn't say I watch like all the indie horror movies, but I've seen some. Yeah, definitely some very what's the term? Just like knockoff horror movies, I guess. And
have you seen it?
Of course.
Yeah. I
even
saw
the TV
that
show. I remember watching the TV show because originally it was a TV show, the older one, when I was a kid. And yeah, the clown in the sewer and shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that as a kid that got me.
Yeah, like that is engraved in my brain.
I'm not going near a sewer when I'm 10 years old. Not even close.
Dude, who was racing paper boats in sewers? And how did it stay afloat? Wouldn't it just crumble? It's in the water.
I mean, it was probably some
industrial cardboard
paper.
Construction paper. Yeah, that was funny. But no, I mean, yeah, it was definitely one of those things that kind of affected me growing up. The Exorcist was another one that affected me growing up. That one was like legit.
That got in your bag.
I can't believe like I watched that. I remember like I didn't really have a lot of supervision. My parents let me watch whatever, and it was kind of crazy.
I mean, you form your own following of
You
movies,
grow up
I
quickly,
guess.
type deal. But
Yeah, that was the same thing with me. I watched this movie called The Collector when I was pretty young. And I thought it was the scariest movie I've ever seen.
it sounds
like,
familiar.
Yeah, it's like this guy who basically just like collects people
Bodies, yeah.
and then like drugs them up basically to their zombies and like booby traps is where he keeps them, so if people go in to try to get them, they get killed.
I think it just adds to the collection.
Yeah, it's the collection.
No, that
anyway,
sounds familiar.
but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But I will say, I watched it a few years later when I was, I think I was like in college, out of high school. When I first watched it, I was like middle school. Watched it again, I was like, this is just not scary at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it's not really surprising, but it was funny how that worked. I was like, I was about to be like scared out of my boots.
Yep.
But my
Because
boots.
you remember it being so scary.
Yeah. But then at the end of it, my boots were still very tight to my feet.
Very steady.
Yeah.
So, are you a big horror movie fan?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a horror movie fan. Like, I'm a horror movie fan, yes.
Like, you'll watch
a
a
big
horror
one?
movie?
No. Yeah, I'll watch it. It's definitely, if I'm in the mood for it, if it's, around Halloween time, shouts the Chan Pod.
Yeah, shout out to Chan Pod. We talk about,
Shouts Dogbot Hats. Best Halloween movies.
yeah, we talked about best Halloween movies and
Yeah,
stuff
so
like that. But
go check out that pod if you want to hear our favorite Halloween movies.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
favorite candy.
Shouts.
Shouts.
Give
Give it up.
But yeah, like the thing about horror movies, it's kind of like when you want to watch comedy, you want to laugh, right?
Yep.
So when you watch a horror movie, you get a little spooked. It's just a fun feeling, like a nice adrenaline rush.
Yeah, just a little spook.
Do you have a favorite horror movie or one that stands out to you?
Oh. So, funny you mention comedy because this was kind of like...
A horror comedy?
Nah, I mean, everyone...
They have those.
Everyone knows, or a lot of people I'm sure know, Final Destinations.
Yeah, of course.
Those ones to me were like...
Staples.
Funny. They weren't meant to be funny, but like... It's just like the craziest shit happens.
They have comedic shit for sure.
Like...
I would say that definitely it crosses a line of comedy for sure.
Yeah.
You've seen Scream,
But-
right?
Scream? No.
Like the guy with the ghost face mask.
I haven't seen Scream. I've seen
Not even a little bit.
Scary Movie with featuring Scream.
Right. So Scary Movie is just a parody of Scream.
Yeah. I haven't seen the real Scream.
We've never seen the real Scream. Interesting.
Ice Cream.
I think Scream is like one of those like textbook slasher films that you like need to watch because it's essentially like I would assume I can't think of any others, but I think it's like the start of horror comedy because that movie is like the definition of horror comedy. Like it has some like crazy zany characters and like crazy concepts, and it's like one of the first times of being very meta. You know what meta is, right? Being very self-aware.
Okay. I mean, learn something new every day. Give it up.
So in like the communities and stuff, when people say
Meta World Peace.
sure. When people like say
Shouts.
like, oh, like that's meta, oh, he's being meta, they're just saying like he's being very self-aware. And like if you're meta in movies, that means you're self-aware of the outside world, outside of the movies, breaking the fourth wall type thing. You know what I'm talking about? That's what meta is,
okay.
breaking the fourth wall kind of. Like Deadpool is self-aware that he's a superhero in the Marvel universe inside of a real world. Like he's a comic book character, bless you.
Thank you.
He's meta about that. He understands that he's meta.
Yeah, shout out Deadpool.
Deadpool's sick.
The Deadpool movies are great.
We should talk about Deadpool.
Those are
after this,
hilarious.
'cause they're making a third one with Hugh Jackman coming back again as Wolverine. We should talk about
Huge
that.
jacked man.
Yeah, I just saw a thing that we'll talk about this later.
If the bar ain't bending, you're just pretending.
Exactly. We'll get back
Yes.
to that.
Shout out.
But Scream is very Yeah, it's very meta because it's very self-aware. They talk about how like, you know, the typical horror movie tropes, like when someone fucking trips and falls and then this killer gets them.
Okay.
Or like
I feel like it's kind of coming back to me. I might have seen, or maybe it was the scary movie.
it could be a scary movie because it's very similar.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean by like they're aware they're in the movie. They're aware of like
Yep.
the audience is watching and
Yep.
shit. Yeah.
And
I
they're
like
aware-
I like shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. They're aware of like the characters they play and shit like that. And actually, Scream 6 is coming out this Friday,
Shouts.
which is funny.
Thank you, Live Crowd.
Scream 6 is coming out. Yeah, what a long run. It's like Halloween, right? Like Halloween had its own run.
Halloween had a run.
Way back in like the 90s, early 2000s, and then
Just released another one.
took a break, released like kind of rebooted version like back in 2018. Then they did a trilogy. They just like wrapped up the trilogy, I think like last year or this year maybe. No, last year, yeah.
It's very
2022.
reminiscent of the Fast and Furious movies. They just won't stop making those.
Well, it's funny because I actually haven't seen it. I've only seen the first one, I think.
Yeah, I haven't
The Fast and
seen.
Furious
I'm not a fast guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's good. It's just like, I don't know, nothing's really driven me to like, no pun intended, to go watch them. But I think what's different about Fast Furious is like they stayed continued throughout. Like they're on number 10, but like Scream and like Friday the 13th and Halloween and Freddy Krueger all had like reboots. Like they kind of like like a soft reboot where they like retold a retelling of the story, but kind of loosely connected to the past ones. So that way, like old fans and new fans can kind of like it together, right? So that's why like Scream 6 and Halloween, the new Halloween trilogy, is like so big, is that like everyone can come together and like it, But yeah, I think the horror movie realm is a good realm. I think there's a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. But like the same thing with comedy, like
any realm has the
any realm has those.
The spectrum of good to bad.
Yeah, I just think horror has such a cult following, obviously, and it's so much more beloved. Because like, obviously, there's a ton of horror movies, but like, there's really only like a select few horror movies that are like very, very good, and that everyone like wraps their hands around and loves it, all that stuff.
Yeah, it seems like every now and again it'll be like one horror movie that's in theaters that's like grabbing everyone's attention. But
it's not like that for a lot of comedies, right? There's very few.
Yeah, comedies are just like, it's a comedy.
Everyone loves comedies. Yeah, everyone loves comedies. Like, there's really like no bad comedies, not that I can really think of. And like, everyone can all like really. There's a very select few like things like Step Brothers that like kind of captivate people. That is just like completely off the walls, bonkers, hysterical, or like Wedding Crashers or like Anchorman, things like that. That really just, which is funny because all of them have Will Ferrell in it. And shouts Will Ferrell, he's the GOAT. Yeah, we should get Will Ferrell on the pod.
Yeah, we should.
Get Will Ferrell on the pod.
And get Adam Sandler. He's a local guy too.
Shouts Adam Sandler. Yeah, like I would say Uncut Gems is one of those like thriller comedies. You know what I mean? It's not really horror, but like
it's not I wouldn't say it's comedy either. It's just like,
but it's just like crazy characters, crazy acting. You know what I mean? To the point where it is funny, but it's so stressful the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, he's legit just stressed out the whole movie. Like, it's not. I don't think it's meant to.
He never has an easy moment.
No, but I think
until the end, but then not until the end.
That's very symbolic.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right?
Of the story that it tells. Watch Uncut Gems, by the way.
Shouts.
Shout out Adam Sandler. All his comedy movies are awesome.
Yeah, that's another one. Even Grown Ups, right? But even
Grown Ups, legendary.
Even Grown Ups, all the sequels kind of went a little decline, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that
sequels.
Just happens. Yeah, that just
sequels.
Happens. But I think, yeah, I
probably lean comedy over horror. Like, horror. If I'm in the mood for
I get
a good, horror film, I'm diving in. But majority, I would watch comedy over that.
Yeah, it's just easier to throw on a comedy movie in the background whenever you need it versus a horror movie in the background. You really have to be like locked in for a
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Child's Play, like Chucky, for example.
Shout out.
Now that is a very horror comedy movie because obviously it's a fucking talking doll that just shit talks you the entire time.
Shout out.
And shouts. No, it is. It is. I'm a big Child's Play Chucky fan because it just grown up. I grew up with it, and they recently are doing TV shows now. They just dropped. They just have 2 seasons. They keep dropping them every Halloween. They're dropping the 3rd one this Halloween. I'm looking forward to that. I've seen that show. I actually really like that show. It's really it kind of just like blends together both horror and comedy super well. And it has all the old cast members and as well as new ones. And again, it's like a retelling. It's like how Scream, Halloween, all those things do like a reboot retelling, except it's a TV show version, which is cool. And
shout out Chucky.
Yeah, shout. So I'm a big fan. I like watching them. I think they're cool. I just like to see the storylines. I'm a big storyline person.
Regardless of the genre.
Regardless of the genre. I think it's like if you have a cool story to tell, I'm going to listen. It's like Last of Us, right? Last of Us, I would say, has a big cult following. It's not like a gigantic, like you didn't even know about it. It's not like very popular, but like it has a big cult following and it has like such a good story where it's like, I just want to follow the storyline. You know what I mean? So I'm just a fan of storylines. If it's
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Last of Us.
If it's well written and, you know, it goes somewhere, like I'm probably a big fan of it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But
why wouldn't you be?
Why wouldn't you be?
It's in your bag.
But yeah, I do want to touch upon the new Deadpool movie. So the Marvel movies, you know, are in a weird spot right now. I feel like they're
oh boy with the Marvel movies.
Yeah, they're not getting a lot of love.
Are they overplayed?
I don't know. It could be. Is it too much now? They have like they're like 30-something movies in. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of movies.
See, like it is, but like
it's hard to. The big thing is hard to keep track, especially like
with the TV shows.
They can't kill anyone. They made it so they can't even kill anyone off now.
Yeah, because now they can just time travel.
Yeah, it's like
there's no
he
stakes.
Really dead?
There's no stakes. I agree. I think they do need to. Like in the Ant-Man movie, it's like nobody dies.
I haven't seen it, but spoiler
alert. But like whatever.
I'm probably not gonna watch it.
You could see that coming, but no, I think because here's the thing: like all the way up to even after Endgame, which was like the wrap up, there was some like
Infinity War was good.
Every single movie was good. Every single movie, literally, because like Spider-Man: No Way Home came after Endgame, and that's where they had all 3 different Spider-Mans play, and like it was fucking dope. So like they had multiple good movies outside.
Yeah, that was cool. That was
everything after Endgame. They had multiple good ones. Like I know people should talk Thor: Love and Thunder, and people should talk the new Ant-Man movie, but like I think they were fun watches. It's like not like bad movies. I just think it like doesn't. Yeah. It didn't project the story forward. It kind of just stayed where it's at, and it's like too like.
Yeah, it was kind of just like Fat Thor and. Right, I haven't seen that, to be honest.
Love and Thunder, he gets back in shape.
When was Fat Thor?
That was Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay.
And
shout out Fat Thor, by the way.
Shouts Chris Hemsworth. But
good guy.
Yeah, so like even some of the TV shows like Loki and WandaVision were really good, like hot start. Like there were some good things after Endgame. People like to say after Endgame it sucks, but that's not true. Like they're good ones. I just think like they do.
Even if it's good though, it hasn't gone.
It hasn't gone anywhere. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's too much setup. Each movie keeps setting something up, but it's like, all right, where is it? Like when is it happening? Like that's the problem now. Is like each movie is now a setup to something bigger, but like when is this bigger thing happening? Yep. We're just toying around with it, and it's like something's got to happen sooner or later, or else people are gonna start getting pissed. But what is interesting? A new Marvel movie coming up is a new Deadpool movie. And so
Deadpool, shout out.
As
I love the Deadpools.
Have you seen both of them?
I think so. Yeah, no, I definitely have.
What's so cool about them is like the first Deadpool 1 and 2 were its own like in its own world, right? But now that Marvel got the rights to all their characters back, now that they're trying to rework them into their own story, now with the multiverse and shit going on, they can do that because it gives them that out, right? It gives them no deaths. It gives them the plot armor. So
no deaths.
No deaths. So since basically now Deadpool 3, they're they're connecting that, and it's cool because they're bringing back Hugh Jackman, who also played Wolverine in a supposed to be standalone Marvel movie, but is now connecting it again because
Huge Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, and that dude is like 50 something. He's like as old as my dad. You know, my dad's like 60. He's easily like 55 probably.
Mutton chops to raise a family with.
And dude, it's crazy because I just read a thing that he's getting back in shape again to play Wolverine, and like that, as we know, that dude always goes all out to get in shape to play Wolverine. He looks incredible. We're gonna have to put a picture up. You've seen him play Wolverine? He looks shredded. So yeah, he looks crazy in it, but it's like so tough to be like that at like such an older age. So everyone always like chirps him.
Let's pull him up on the tubes.
Oh yeah, pull him up on the monitor. Just look up like a shirtless Hugh Jackman Wolverine picture. And but yeah, basically people always chirp him because they think he's on steroids. I don't think he's on he could be taking something. I have no idea.
Let's see.
But like people chirp his ass, and it's like, if he takes shit, dude, who cares? He's fucking grinding his balls off. He's a 55-year-old dude. He's just an actor. He's just trying to give you entertainment.
If you take shit, you have to work harder.
Exactly. And he works his balls off. Like you see him, you got to just like look up I think it's Hugh, Hugh. But
okay.
But yeah, when he does his shirtless scenes and stuff, he says that he does a water fast, so he dehydrates himself, so that way he looks less bloated, so he looks shredded. And so I remember watching an interview where he's like, those scenes are the worst because you're dehydrated, you're like fucking exhausted, and like
feel dried up.
You're trying to be Wolverine and like attack people. Yeah, you're all dried up. Oh, look at him right there. Go back. That's it. Yeah. Dude, he looks crazy right there. I will never look like that in my life. This dude's 55 looking like that.
Yeah, and I honestly think it looks like a natural.
Because that's the thing. He doesn't look
physique.
I mean, he looks huge, but like he doesn't look like massive. He doesn't look thick. Like he looks. Yeah. He looks slim body right there.
Yeah.
Like, he looks big. Don't get me wrong, but he looks slim.
It might be
chiseled. Maybe because he's so chiseled, he looks bigger than he really is. But he looks like he doesn't look bulky.
It might be
he doesn't look bulky. He looks
trying
slim.
What's it called? The dehydration.
But I mean, dude, you can literally see he has veins on his abs. You can see it from right here. You can probably see it from goddamn blurry ass TV. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's shredded.
You gotta respect anybody that like is putting their body on the line like that just for something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
shit's not easy.
He's dedicated to his craft for sure.
You gotta
respect it.
Yeah, we've been in the ground for a minute, and like we know what the fuck it's like to like grind like that. So
we know what it's like to stick those needles up your ass every week.
I can't say that, but I do know what it's like to fucking grind and not see results after a while. So it's hard. So like seeing results.
Yeah, imagine being 50.
Dude, that's
what trying to get shredded.
Yeah, and he does it, dude. That's what he thinks he's on I don't know. I think he's natural. It doesn't really matter to me, but it's not even a big deal. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care as long as you're open with it.
Yeah, I just love movies. I think movies are so fun. Good escapism from the real world. You know what I mean? It's like anything, right? Like any media, like you intake, like movies, music. You know, any type of media. It's just like a form of escape, right?
Yeah, no,
you're just trying to escape the world, you know what I mean? And,
yeah, I definitely agree because oftentimes, like, if I'm watching like a action movie or something like that, like, I'm pretending I'm the main character the whole thing, and then after the movie ends, for probably at least a half hour longer, I'm still that character.
So
I'm watching James Bond, and then after the movie, I go to get a bowl of cereal. I'm like up against the wall, making sure no one sees me.
Not stared.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's actually funny because you kind of think like, all right, like what would I do in this situation? Like how would I go about this situation if I needed to? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's actually funny. I started because I've never seen the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. But I started by watching the first one, which I think is Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, yep.
Yeah, that's the first one. So I watched that one. And in that, he asked for like a martini or whatever. And the guy's like, would you like that shaken or stirred? He goes, does it look like I give a fuck? He says that. And I was like, oh, I thought he was gonna say the fucking line, but he didn't.
Yeah,
And
teaser.
which is it's a good play because I feel like that's what James Bond would say. James Bond doesn't give a fuck about anything, dude. And
Yeah.
but no, those movies are fucking
James
sick.
What's his name? James Craig.
Daniel Craig, he
Daniel
plays James
Craig.
Bond. Yeah.
Shout out.
Shouts.
Daniel Craig, great James Bond, by the way.
No, he is. He's such a great actor too.
I was skeptical at first.
Were you really? Are you a big James Bond guy?
Well, the thing is, like my dad's a big James Bond
of the
guy.
old
like the old
William.
one.
What's his name?
There was I don't know, there was a handful of.
There's a lot of them, but like, what was the big one? My parents love that one too. Let me look up. Famous James Bond.
There's a good ones, but the only reason I was skeptical, which is kind of unfair.
Sean Connery. That's the guy.
Yeah. Shout out.
Or Pierce Brosnan is another one.
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel Craig. Those are like the top three.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
Pops was a big fan.
He was a big fan. I was skeptical at first, only because, and it's not fair to do this, but only because he was a blonde James Bond.
Is James Bond not blonde?
Well, he is now.
Where
But
did I put my water bottle?
remember to hydrate, people.
Remember
Come
to
on.
hydrate.
This is a dire circumstance.
It's not dire, but
It's gonna be underneath your backpack.
it's gonna be underneath my balls. No, it's not.
It's gonna be behind that chair.
Dude, I could. I had it right here. I'm so blind. Drink some goddamn water.
Shout
But yeah,
out.
continue. Drink some water.
Yeah. So, of all the James Bonds I saw previously, everyone was, brown hair. Daniel Craig, more of a dirty blonde type style of hair.
That's interesting because.
But I mean, until after I watched, obviously all those, what's it called? Issues went away. It was just, a feeling I had, I guess.
That's funny. No, it's funny you think that James Bond has to have brown hair because I always thought he had blonde hair. Maybe that's just because of the Daniel Craig movies, but I always thought like James Bond was a blonde dude. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Nelson Mandela effect.
Yeah, so that is
R.I.P.
Mandela.
Shout out to Nelson Mandela, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Mandela effect.
Speaking of, what do you say?
Well, I think we should first describe to the listeners what the Mandela effect is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to butcher it. Probably have to look it up. But essentially,
Yeah, look up the Defi.
Essentially, the Mandela effect is where you subconsciously kind of like force yourself to think that a thing has occurred in a certain different way than it actually has, or it even happened at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
like
you kind of pathologically make your own idea of something versus what it actually is, right? That's what basically the Mandela effect is. But because they thought he was dead, right? They thought Nelson Mandela was dead, but he wasn't, or something. They thought he died in jail.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why.
I think that's why they call it
that. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm pretty sure that's why it is what it.
But a big example.
Examples and explanations. Here we go.
I know one off the top of my head. A lot of
Masses of people can have the same false memory. That's what it is.
Yeah, so people always say Sex in the City, but it's really Sex and the City.
Sex and the City, right? Not in the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is
like
a
that's
big
just
one.
Example.
That's
I
a
heard.
big example. That's for sure. It was coined in 2009 by Fiona Broom when she created a website to detail her observance of the phenomenon. Broom was a conference talking with other people about how she remembered the tragedy of former South African President Nelson Mandela's death in South African prison in the 1980s. However, Nelson Mandela did not die in the 1980s in a prison. He passed away in 2013 as Broom began to talk to other people about her memories. Yes, so everyone thought he died a while ago, but he didn't.
He didn't.
So that's what that is. But if you saw Star Wars Episode 4, big spoiler alert, I haven't seen Star Wars, but obviously I know about this. In Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, you probably remember the Darth Vader uttering the famous line, "Luke, I am your father." But you might be surprised to learn that the actual line was, "No, I am your father."
So there's no Luke in it.
So there's no Luke.
Wow.
So that's interesting. That's an interesting one because I remember Toy Story doing a parody of that of Zurg and Buzz Lightyear, and Zurg goes, "Buzz, I am your father." No.
Yeah, so even the writers of Toy Story
even Toy Story.
fell victim to the Mandela effect.
I mean, that's an easy one, right? That's like a whatever. But
What else we got? Let's have another example.
Pikachu. Many people report remembering Pikachu, a Pokemon character, as having a black-tipped tail. In reality, the character has always had a solid yellow tail. I didn't know that either. I thought he was striped.
Yeah,
The
I definitely
entire
think
way.
there's some black in the tail.
I would assume, right? I thought he was fully striped, or
Yeah.
spotted. Or I think it's a she, right? I'm pretty sure Pikachu's a girl. I think. I forget. I haven't seen Pokemon in so long.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Mirror, mirror. On the
Oh
wall.
wow. Yeah, we remember the line is "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all." However, the actual phrase is "Magic mirror on the wall," which is funny because in Shrek, I know for a fact in Shrek, he Lord Farquaad, when he's looking for his honey, goes "Mirror, mirror on the wall."
Yeah, so even the writers of Shrek.
Everyone is
affected.
Mandela affected. That is crazy. I remember these
Shout
so
out.
vividly, because I'm a big Shrek fan. Shout out Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek is a great.
That's a great comedy movie in general.
Speaking
right?
of trilogies,
that one has
is
like
there
5.
4?
There's 5, I think.
5. Yeah,
Yeah, 4.
because I remember
you're right.
Shrek
There
the
is
Third.
4, but they're making a 5th. I remember reading they're making a 5th.
And shout out Puss in Boots.
Shouts. Yeah.
If you want to count that.
I saw the first one, but I never saw the other ones.
I heard it was
Didn't
phenomenal.
appeal- but I heard great things. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
I haven't seen it either,
But I mean, I do love everything Shrek related.
I love how I think we talked about this, how it popularized the song All Star by
Oh yeah, every Shrek soundtrack is
Shrek soundtracks just
always
shouts.
usually always elite. I'm a big music guy, and
Who sings All Star though?
that's Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth, yeah. It's gonna drive me nuts.
But yeah, I'm a big music fan, and I've listened to those soundtracks like without the movie, like by myself, just listening to the soundtrack. And like, first one's fantastic. Second one is the best out of all of them. Second one is really good because they do covers of famous songs with the actors, and the actors like sing it. Like Antonio Banderas, who plays Puss in Boots, like sings, and he's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The Fairy Godmother sings the song "I Need a Hero," fucking kills it.
Mm.
Like that lady, I forget what her name was. That she's an actress, she's not even a singer, but she has a fantastic voice. And I don't think I actually listened to the third one. I can't remember the third one as well.
It's all a mumbled jumbo in my head.
It's
right
all
now.
Mandela effect.
Yeah,
But the second
But
second
there's
soundtrack to Shrek 2, I'm
great
telling
soundtracks.
you, is the best soundtrack. What also is a really good movie soundtrack is the cartoon Disney Tarzan soundtrack.
Yes,
With Phil Collins.
Phil Collins
does
yes.
the entire soundtrack to Tarzan, and it's "You'll be here in my arms."
Yeah, it's
Son of man, dude, I fucking
It's beautiful.
love Tarzan. That's such
it's
a
beautiful.
Phil Collins is fucking electric. Oh man,
Facts.
Funny.
Shout out,
Shouts
Phil.
Phil Collins, R.I.P. But I walked out to "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins for our football senior night.
Yes, sir.
Shouts. So full circle because I love Phil Collins.
You know what I walked out to?
It was something funny. What was it?
No, it was just a great song.
What was it?
Who Let the Dogs Out?
Yeah, I knew it was something funny. It was funny is "Who Let the Dogs Out" isn't about who let the dogs out. It's about who let the ugly bitches in the club. Did you know that?
Oh, I mean,
The lyrics when they say who
I
let the
never
dogs
thought of
out.
that, but it makes a lot of sense.
So the actual
Mandela effect. Shut up. Who let the dogs out?
But yeah, that's the lyrics. Is basically like, yeah, who let all the ugly bitches in the club is basically what who let the dogs out.
Wow,
But
I love that.
and maybe it's a double entendre where it's who also let the dogs out. You know,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
not that we believe in that, by the way. It's,
it could be a triple entendre.
it could mean whatever you want it to mean. Realistically,
It's art, so it's open to
but
interpretation.
no, I do remember. Who walked out to? What did Ned walk out to? Shouts Ned, by the way.
Shouts.
Sorry, I remember he came out to something funny.
I don't.
Such a dude. That
I don't
was,
remember anyone else's.
2016 was 7 years ago.
But that was also in 2015. People forget.
Was that 15, bro? No, it wasn't. Yeah, because it was football season. Damn. So that was almost 8 years ago, dude. Fuck.
Yeah. Shout out Wakefield High School football going
Shouts.
3-7.
I thought it was 3-8, which is even worse.
3-8.
Damn.
We had fun though.
We had fun though. Not what we wanted, but it is what it is. We did our best. Not really, but whatever. We should talk about that on a pod though one day. Why you weren't at QB?
I mean,
I'll never know.
We might touch upon that one day, but yeah.
Basically,
It's
all
in
you
the
need
past.
To, all
It's
you
in
need
the
to know
past.
is it is in the past. All you need to know is Ty Beck did not play quarterback when he absolutely should have.
We needed Cam Newton.
You were Cam Newton.
We needed a AR-15.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we had a perfect running offense, and we barely ran the ball.
Yeah, we had some dogs in the backfield.
We tried to focus too much on the passing. I think that was the biggest problem, and the passing kind of just like wasn't really there.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues that
There was a lot of things
There's a lot of things we could have done different.
We were trying to be the nuclear offense, and we just weren't a nuclear offense.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. But whatever.
But,
Another day.
Mandela effect.
And
We were actually nasty, but people remember us being terrible.
You remember it being 3-8. We were actually 8-3.
But actually, shout out Wakefield High School football of 2022.
Yeah, for making the ship, dude.
Made it to the ship and won the ship, undefeated season and state champions.
Big shouts, actually. Yeah.
That's actually exactly what we did.
Yeah, people forget.
Yeah, people forget.
Mandela effect. But yeah, I don't really know a lot of the kids in that grade that won. But yeah, for real, congrats to them. That's fucking dope.
Big shouts. That's
so
awesome.
Happy like that's the goal, right? Every time you play, but
and also shouts the cross country team, also state champs.
Always dirty. Always. That's the one thing that has like literally never changed about Wakefield High in decades is track and cross country like dominates.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because all the runners legit love running.
Well, yeah.
It like, dude, we will still drive around town today, and I will still see cross country people like down by West Side, and they got to run back to Wakefield High.
Yeah, I mean that is their practice.
Their practice
just running around
routes.
town.
They're
running routes.
They're like, okay. They're like, okay, start at Wakefield High, go to the lake, run around the lake, go back to Wakefield High.
Yeah, but I also had an inside scoop that it used to be, or one of the routes was start at Wakefield High, run up to the Voke, run Breakheart and back. But they used to have...
Jesus, that's like 10 miles.
They used to do the cheese where they would run up to Breakheart to the little pond, jump in, swim around, like, it's warm out, nice weather.
Yeah.
And then run back. And it looks like they're sweaty because, they got some water on them.
Oh.
So basically...
That's what I would do, but I'm fat boy. But, like, that's the thing is, like, you can't cheat the grind. Like, you'll know.
Yeah, I mean...
I bet
I don't
think they did it consistently, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just heard that
that was
was
their
done.
cheese.
It was just some cheese.
No, you could be right. I mean, I bet they definitely did that, but, like...
That's why they weren't state champs that year. And they were this year. That year they weren't.
All I know is we've always had sick athletes in track, or just people that were so in love with
track
the sport
school.
They just loved it and they fucking grinded. They were dirty. I remember because I was on the track team. I didn't run. Fuck that.
Shout out.
I threw.
Throwers everywhere.
Shot put and discus. No jab, sadly. I wasn't. I don't even think I tried jab.
Didn't you do the pole vault?
No, that was Jancy.
Jancy did pole vault?
No, Jancy did javelin. I'm stupid.
Wait, we didn't even have pole vault, but I could see you doing
We didn't have
it.
pole vault, but we did have like a vertical, like jump.
High jump.
High jump, yeah.
Yeah. But I could see you doing pole vault is what I'm saying. Run up with the pole, vault yourself up.
That shit's so scary to me. Like, I don't know how that thing doesn't break when
Yeah.
it hits.
It does break sometimes.
Does it actually?
I've seen
That's terrifying.
shit like it breaks in half and the person just drops.
That's terrifying, dude.
But, big pad help the bice.
I did see one where a guy fucking vaulted, cleared it easy. Like,
Guy Fieri?
Legit one of the, I don't know who it was, some kid. But, like, he got over. Then when he was over, like, he does, like, brings the hands over. Like, you have to get over so perfectly without touching the bar.
Yeah.
And I remember when he got over so perfectly, and the fucking pole that you used to lift yourself up hit him in the balls on his way down.
Oh,
And And I was like, dude, I mean, he fucking cleared it. He got it, but like, ow. At what cost?
Yeah, at what cost?
Shit.
Is it that serious?
Drink some water.
Drink some water, hydrate. H2O.
What's anything new about this flask?
It's new.
So I bought this. Fun fact, I bought this when I lost my water bottle at your Brib, and you were like, nah, I don't got it. And I was like, okay, bet. So I bought this, and then you were like, never mind, I still got it. And then I just kept this one to the side until I was ready to drop the old one. And I wasn't ready to drop the old one. What happened was I left it at our boy Deliri's house watching UFC 285.
Shout out.
Shouts to Deliri's. Shouts to all the Deliri's. Shout out Andrew Deliri.
Big shouts, big shouts.
But yeah, I left my water bottle there. So I told him I'll just come back whenever I come back up again. And yeah.
That's a great story. But it's a good thing that you had the second one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing that what happened between us happened, so that way it was ready to go.
Right, because if that didn't happen, you'd be dehydrated. You look like Hugh Jackman, though.
But yo, T-Bag, I'm about to rip a piss real quick. I'll be right back. Just keep talking. We'll cut this part out.
All right.
I'll be back, boys.
Hey, I told you should have went before.
You're right. 45 minutes in, I'll fuck.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, one more time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Give it up to that crowd! Wow. I guess we'll run it back again. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey, there he is. It only took 3 renditions of the do 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 song.
Gallon a day, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Really gets you.
we're talking about hydration.
We're talking about hydration.
Gallon a
It
day.
happens.
You do have to pee. It happens, and it's par for the course, but
Gallon a day.
it's worth it.
This is only like, I think 3 of these equals a gallon.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I used to be on the gallon a day grind, but lately I've been on like the 5 drops of water a day. It's been bad. But I'll be back on it. I'll be back on it.
No, it's funny because intermittent fasting, right?
Yes. Shout out.
I try to practice that as much as I can. Intermittent fasting. I'm really good about it on weekdays. I'm really bad about it on weekends because weekdays when I'm at work, I just like am able to, just.
So you recommend intermittent fast, or you believe in it?
I think it works for me because I'm not particularly super hungry in the morning, so like I'm okay with not eating in the morning because I'm not super hungry.
So what do you do? Like, what are the hours?
What's my window?
Yeah, what's the window?
My window is between like 3 to 10. Usually
3 to 10. Okay.
Yeah, because like I'll work like 6 to 2, get home, like eat around 3ish, go to the gym, things like that. Go home, eat some grub, get on a pod, shit like that.
Facts.
So yeah, I mean that's usually my window. Is like
maybe eating the pod. Maybe if someone was kind enough to sponsor us, we'll get a little food on the pod.
Shouts Queenie.
Yeah.
But
Shouts.
yeah, I think the biggest thing about intermittent fasting, what's super important, is like you want to have at least like a 16-hour window of no eating.
At least.
At least, yeah.
Wow.
So 24, right? So your day is broken up into 24 hours, right?
So you only have 8 hours to eat.
So you only have an 8-hour window to eat, which you think is small, but it's like really kind of not. You can fit a lot in 8 hours.
You can eat a lot of food in that time.
Yeah, and I can put down food, which is my problem. But that's why like intermittent fasting is nice. Cause
But that's
like,
also why your biceps are so big.
No, that's cap. That's cap.
You're never gonna grow if you don't pick up the fork.
No, that's very true. You know,
People forget.
I was talking about this the other day or yesterday, I think, at the gym with the boys. How like, definitely like it's all hard work. Like it all like goes into what you eat and hard work. But like people are definitely like genetically superior. I wouldn't superior is a bad word to say. People genetically just are gifted. You know what I mean? And the genetics definitely plays a role. And I think like
for sure.
I think I was definitely fortunate having genetics where like my muscles grow like pretty quickly, pretty fastly.
Just pop out the biceps, pop out
But,
the
like,
skin.
But the negative is like I do hold on to fat worse, which is the problem. Like I can put on muscle easy, but I also put on fat easy, which is the problem. Like it's hard to balance the two. You know what I mean? Like
So you would be a goat,
I'm an
dirty
easy,
bulker.
I'm an easy gainer, 100%.
Easy gain. Okay,
but like Glizzy's a hard gainer.
Glizzy McGuire, hard gainer.
Hard gainer. But
shout out.
but it's good for him because like he'll always be shredded because he I don't know if that's just his genetics or that's just his entire life of doing wrestling where you have to starve yourself, which I believe he wrestled at 105 was the weight class.
105. Damn.
Back in high school, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. What did Jack Spicer? He would wrestle Jack Spicer.
No, yeah.
What was that 115 or 105?
I don't know what it was exactly, but it was down there. Like it was low hundreds, maybe even the 90s. I don't know.
Yeah, all I know is they like those
it's egregious.
Yeah, like the wrestlers in high school that would fight or wrestle lower in their weight classes like would legit like starve themselves and fucking grind. That's why like wrestlers in UFC or like any type of fighting combat sport like they're just like built different. They got like a different mindset. They got a different dog in them. Like wrestlers are just different. I don't really understand it. But
it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, but like I just like their mindset is something like it's very envious because like they're so like aggressive with like their I don't know, just their work ethic is just aggressive. I don't know.
You can respect the work ethic. You can
100%, dude. Like
dropping weight.
He would starve himself and then go run stairs for 30 minutes, then go wrestle an hour, and then do whatever else they had to do.
With like a full sweatsuit on.
With Alex Kane. Shouts to Alex Kane.
Shouts Alex Kane.
I don't know if he ever had to wrestle him, but if he did, he got fucked.
Yeah, there's no way. He's like a three-time state champ.
Three-time state champ. Easy. And, but yeah, we had some freaks in wrestling.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what were we talking about? Intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we're talking about the
Gets
water
you shredded.
thing. I think it's helpful because I think there are benefits to intermittent fasting, but I think the biggest thing is that if you're eating within a smaller window, you're eating less. So that's the number one thing, right? If you want to lose weight,
definitely
just eat less, right? But it's hard to eat less, right, when you have a big day and like you get hungry and you struggle.
You also need energy for your day.
You also need energy. So that's why like the beginning of me doing intermittent fasting, like I would say like the first 6 months was definitely the worst because you're hungry, you got to deal with the hunger pains, you got to adapt. And like you're gonna adapt like after a while you figure it out, like your body learns, okay, I get fed at this time.
Yep.
And you know what I mean, your body learns and like you get used to it, right? You train yourself. But yeah, the beginning is hard. The beginning's fucking hard. But like
especially if you're a snacker throughout the day.
Yeah, 100%. And
that's me. I eat a lot of snacks.
Yeah, me too.
Shout snacks
it's tough,
everywhere.
Though. But no, that's why it's good at work is like I can just focus on my grind at work and not eat anything. But the problem is sometimes I do forget to drink some water. You know what I mean? And yeah, like you'll just be running on 3 drops of water and it's not great. But you know, sometimes it happens.
All you need is a couple drops to get the joints loosened up.
Yeah, I mean you can survive like a week without water, something like that.
I think it's like 3 days.
Is it?
Food. It's like a week without food.
No, you can. That's a myth. You can last so much longer without food because
your
body will eat off of you, and so I guess it's however long it can
Yeah,
go through your
well,
body.
no, that's true. You can last longer without food.
Yes,
than
you can
without
last
water.
longer.
Yeah,
But it's not very long. Like, I'd probably give someone like at most 3 weeks without food,
yeah,
depending on like your muscle, like because your body will eat from your fat, your muscle before anything else. So like, if you have a lot of fat, you have a lot of muscle, you're chilling. You know what I mean? You'll last a while.
yeah. You just be eating yourself
You'd
alive.
be
but,
emaciated, but you know that happens.
but you'll be alive.
But you'll be alive. But no, yeah, water. You'd probably like, yeah. What is it? 4 days, 3-4 days, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely need that.
need them drops.
Need
Need
that.
them drops.
But yeah, I think like I said, I think if you're not intermittent fasting, I just recommend it. Like if you're trying to lose weight, I recommend it because it forces you to eat less. And
Yeah,
that's
no.
the number one most important thing. If you're trying to lose weight, just eat less. So that's why I recommend that. I know there are like
Calorie deficit.
calorie deficit,
is
exactly.
a beautiful thing.
And it's the easiest when you just you keep it in between a certain time frame. And some people get like really like crazy with it. Some people will do like one meal a day, and it's like it works for them. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think yeah, you just gotta find what works for you if that's what you're looking for. I know there are like other like benefits to intermittent fasting, like better immune system, better like things like that. Like basically like since your body isn't wasting energy on digestion, it uses that energy for other like chemical processes, like yeah, like phagocytosis is where like eats up all the debris.
Say that again.
Phagocytosis.
Okay.
Phagocytosis. Yes.
He's a scientist, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
Cytosis. Yeah,
Scientist.
so phagocytosis is essentially where like
Shout out Dana Farber.
your cells eat shouts. Your cells just eat all like debris and like other shit that your body doesn't need. Let me just like make sure I'm saying it right.
Genius.
Cytosis. Yeah, the ingestion of bacteria or other material by phagocytes and amoeboid protozoans.
Shout out amoeboid protozoans everywhere. Thank you, live crowd.
Phagocytes. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I forget. But I
So
remember,
what is that? Just like it eats away at like bad things in your body, like
yeah, so it pretty much just cleans up any debris, like your immune system, you know, all like your chemical processes that like, you know, when you have inflammation, when you got things like that, like your cells will just regenerate, eat up all the old, dead, you know, inflamed cells and replace them with new ones. So I don't know how true that is. That's what I've read before, that like intermittent fasting is helpful for that, or like you know those flotation pods?
no.
You know the things that Max sells? Shout out Max Casa, by the way. Shout
out Max Casa.
You know how he does those float pods?
We gotta get him on the pod.
We really do.
Yes.
So those things are like those promote like cellular activity like that. You know, those are supposed to help like stimulate your body's growth hormones and stuff like that, and like help you like relax and like regenerate and like loosen up and like things like that. That's what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's like, at least that's the thought process behind it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I heard
Complete sensory deprivation.
yes.
Like being sensory deprived, like if you're taking so much stimulus and sensory and like lights on you, you know, things like that, like phone, blue light, things like that, your body just like gets so overloaded with fucking stimulants, right? That your body just like isn't able to perform its normal like chemical properties. So like that's why in a sensory deprivation tank or like a flotation tank, things like that, like complete darkness, no sound, nothing, just you like chilling, meditating, and just like in a meditative state in a way where like your body is just able to like recoup, regenerate, do all the things that's like been necessary, but like it hasn't been able to do because it's focused on other things. You know what I mean?
It's too stimulated by outside
or
forces.
that's a theoretical you know, that's the theory of it, right? I don't know. I haven't really like looked too deep in like the scientific literature about it, but like that's just what I mean. On paper it makes sense, and to me in my head it makes sense. I don't know how true it is. I'm just saying what I read. I don't know. Again, like you got to question everything, right? Like it's not that like I'm a skeptical. I think it's just important like whether whether it's fact or not, it's always good to just have a mind of your own, be able to like question everything, and like until you get true factual answers, and that's when you can speak on it. But like I haven't really like dove into anything too much to get like true factual answers. These are just things I've read that make sense in my brain, that are my Mandela effect, my headcanon of what I think it is. And yeah, I mean, again, just question everything. Question me, question us. Like we're not always right either. Like check us too. Like
we're rarely right.
I just got checked in the gym.
That.
OD by Russo. Shout out Kevin Russo, by the way.
Shout out Kevin Russo.
I'll tell you the story. It's a funny story.
He the quarter squat champion of the world.
No. He's not. He hits 90. Well, he don't get low like me. But besides the point. But no, we were all in the gym, just working out, just grinding, and I just like slid in someone's DMs pretty much.
Subtle brag.
No, not subtle, not a brag. It was just shot in the dark.
Subtle.
You know, it was just, but it was someone that Russo knew. Went to college with her, and and so I was just like telling about it. Like, yeah, I just slid in. Like, guaranteed she's gonna leave me on red. I just like called it, and then she left me on red, and I was like, knew it. And,
Cha-ching.
And I was just kind of butthurt about it, not because of the situation. I was just butthurt because I was having a bad day. I had a bad day at work. I think we talked. This was Monday. Did we talk? No, I didn't see you on Monday.
No, I didn't.
No.
But your butt was hurting.
Just work had me butthurt, dude. Work was just a grind. Just like everything that could have went wrong. And, you know, you had,
one of them days.
And I had to hear it from upper people. You know what I mean? And like,
yep.
And management and bosses and shit. And it was just
Mondays,
like one of those days where like
Mondays.
Everything was literally like it was a Monday. You know, I had to be up at 5 a.m. for work, and work was fucking balls. Like it was trash, and like, and then I had to hear it from my boss and shit.
Shouts.
And, like, it was just one of those days, and
just one of them days.
And then I slid in the DMs, get left and right. I'm like, damn, it's another thing. I was just down bad. I was just pissed off, and that's no excuse, right?
Put on
like,
the tab.
I'm so glad that like I got people that check me, but like, I was just like down bad. I was just pissed off, and like,
what did quarter squat say?
And Russo just like made a joke and was like, "Oh, dude, she texted me right now." And she's like, "Why is your friend hitting me up?" And I was like, "Dude, like, tell her to suck a dick." Like, I was like, "Fuck that bitch." Like, I was like, "Give me the phone. I'll tell her to fuck off." Like, I was like, just pissed off.
Wait, did she actually?
No, she didn't actually. He was just getting in my head, and I was just fucking pissed. And he was like, "Dude, relax." Like, she didn't actually text me. And I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Damn." I was just pissed off. You know what I mean? It's just one of those bad days. But no, it was good that he
got
did that.
Him.
I wasn't even like that. Like, I was just like being annoying. And but no, I was glad he checked me, because you need people like that around you to keep you grounded.
Yeah.
And but we all had a good laugh out of it, because we all thought it was so silly, so funny, and
so silly,
so silly,
goofy.
But yeah, I mean,
facts.
It is what it is. Short memory, on to the next one.
Short memory.
You know, it's no problem at all. You know what I mean? I think a lot, like, you got to have perspective. Like, life could be so much worse, dude. Like, life is fucking shit.
Can always be worse, man.
Dude,
it can always be worse.
Whatever. If I had to fucking hear it from my boss, like, it's whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I got to be here with my boy right now, talking smack to all the peeps. And, you know,
shout out.
That's a good day, man. And, you know, life, I think,
it gives you lemons sometimes. And you know what you got to do with that?
We got to drop that pod. That's what we got to do.
Exactly.
But no, like, I think, I think you just got to, if you just find happiness in the bad days, you know what I mean? I was just able to laugh that off, you know what I mean? It's just whatever.
The Bice, you know, we always come back to this. It's all about, you know, finding what you, or where you want to be.
Yeah, like, forget...
Not physically, well, physically as well, but...
Right. But like, I think it's like, forget about all like the shit you don't got and the shit that you want that you can't get. Like, you can't have.
The number one fastest way to misery is comparing yourself to others.
To what you don't have, exactly. I agree.
Yep.
Like, comparing what you don't have to what you want. And like, I'd agree, like, that is like the number one cause of people suffering, is because you want something so bad. Like, oh, like, once I get this, I'll be happy. Once I do this, I'll be happy. Once I achieve something, then I'll be happy. And it's like, that's not true at all. Like, happiness is truly an internal struggle. It's something that comes
grass ain't always greener.
Yeah, 100%, because like, you say like you want these things and you'll never get them, and like you automatically like set yourself up for failure because it's like, oh, like I want this but you can't get it, and it's like you really gotta like not look around at what you don't have and just be grateful for what you do have, because
Yep.
even if you have fucking nothing, dude, like I have fucking nothing, it doesn't even matter. Like I'm grateful I get to be here right now with my boys.
The bice, all the bice with you guys
All the
as well.
bice with you
all
guys
the
while
viewers.
watching. Yeah, like I mean, I'm just grateful like I got that. You know what I mean? Because if I didn't have that, where would I be? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, man. Facts.
and like I'm just grateful for that. You know, instead, yeah. Sometimes I'll get in my bag about like shit I don't have, like at the
In my
gym.
bag
I'll just
now.
be
In
pissed
my
off.
bag now.
Yeah, exactly, about shit that I don't fucking have.
What the fuck is that sound?
And it's like no point, because like I should just be like, hey, I'm in the gym right now with my boys. We're just fucking getting after it. Like life's good. We're fucking laughing at dumb shit. Like I don't know. I mean, some people
Yeah. Instead of
like teabag. Like some people
dwelling on something.
right. Like some people like legit like didn't wake up today. As we know,
Yeah.
like
Or worse, some people woke up in an absolute fucking shit storm of a life. Like
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Some people woke up in the closet, being like chained up,
like Harry Potter type shit, or starvation, or things like that. You know what I mean? Like, but I look at it like
There's slavery
it's probably still
is
going on.
very prevalent.
Yeah.
Slaves make your phones, by the way.
Yeah, that's tough
Or
to
no,
think about.
They
Sweatshops and
they
things like that.
mine
The cobalt.
the cobalt.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on
With-
Joe Rogan thing. A guy did a documentary on like the cobalt mining, and like you were saying how fucking terrible it was for
It's
those
like
people.
children with fucking
people like working 24/7. You know what I mean? Like no breaks, nothing.
with whips
I don't know about the whips, but
and
I hope
fucking-
not, man. But no, I think the biggest thing, like, because the worst thing possible on this planet is like either losing your life or like ending up in jail. Those are like the worst two things that can really happen to you, right? And if you think about it, those are both losses of life, losses of time. No,
Definitely losses of time. Like prison, jail, definitely a loss.
like if you're in
Of
jail
time.
for years, you might as well be dead. That's like time you'll
Like
never get back.
if you're in jail for the rest of your life,
You're basically dead.
yeah. I mean, I can't.
25 to life, dude. Imagine I went to jail right now, 25 years. I come out when I'm 50. Dude, I basically died, and I'm in a new life when I come back out.
You missed half your life.
You missed, yeah, which is crazy. And like things like that, like is what I compare it to, right? Like like I said, some people didn't wake up today. As we know, like there are kids our age that have passed, and like, fuck, dude, like, that's like so crazy to think about. You know, like my heart goes out to those families, and I like, yeah, whatever. I had a fucking bad day, and boss yelled at me, or like, whatever. A girl didn't hit me back, and it's like, dude, somebody like didn't wake up today, and like they have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, totally. Like we said, like it can always be worse. It's always, you never want to compare yourself, but on the flip side, if you think about what you do got compared to what others might not have, then that's when you can really, feel grateful.
No, definitely. And I think I kind of
Nothing, no complaints.
Right.
No complaints.
I want to shout out Matty Merck, because Matty
Big
Merck
shout,
will say
Matty
things.
Moped.
Matty Moped will be like, just a bad day, not a bad life, right? You know what I mean? Like whatever, you had a bad
Facts.
day, it's just a bad day. That's all it is, and you're not gonna have
Next day is a new one.
exactly. And then another one that I like is Matty Moped says, you never want to be too high, you never want to be too low in life, and that's in everything in life. And he was telling.
Let's go with the flow.
So Matty Moped coaches baseball, right? And he was teaching his kids to swing. He's like, when you swing, you never want the bat to be too high. You never want it to be too low. You want it to be consistent, normal, and like that's just so applicable to literally everything in life. You never want to be too high. You never want to be too low. It's like this Lokai bracelet that my sister got me. Shouts.
Big
Shouts,
shouts,
Alexia.
big shouts.
Thank you. Basically, the white bead is supposed to represent like the the snow at the top of the Mount Everest, the
Highest point
highest
on Earth.
point on Earth. And the black bead is supposed to represent like mud from the Dead Sea, which is like the lowest point on Earth. And
Shout out.
essentially is shouts
Mariana Trench.
shouts the trench. But essentially what it's supposed to be saying is that there's life is all about highs and lows. You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows, you're gonna have peaks, you're gonna have valleys. It's gonna be awful and it's gonna be amazing. And the biggest thing,
But regardless of what it is, it doesn't last.
it's keeping you from never being high, like never being too high, never being too low, always being consistent.
Yes.
Because like in those ups and downs, like when you're up, essentially what it means is to be thankful, be grateful that you're up, be like happy and like humble that things are good, and remember the bad times. Remember like, okay, I today is good, but back then I was dealing with this. Back then I had to go through that. Back then it felt like shit. You know what I mean? But then when you do have those downs and you're in the downs, just remember like, I've had good days. There's been good days and there's good days coming and the good things are going to happen. And like right now I'm at the bottom, that doesn't last. So it's like when you're at the bottom, just remain hopeful and strong. When you're at the top, just remain, grateful and humble. And so that's why I wear it. One, obviously my sister, got it for me. And
Shouts.
but two, it's just something like, like to ground yourself, just be like, all right, highs and lows, baby, peaks and valleys, and I think it helps me check myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I think we talked about on the pod, I forget which pod, but we talked about Mal's Mondays right now.
Shouts.
I think that might have been one of the scrapped pods actually, but shouts Mal's Monday. But yeah, he's got a song called Right Now, and that song, like I think about when I gotta check myself. I like that song.
Facts.
That song will always like come in my head when I'm like, all right, like I don't want to talk right now. I just gotta get in my zone. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And figure my shit out. Like I don't want to talk to nobody. I gotta just be by myself, get my shit right, get my mind right, and it's something that helps me. It's a course correction for me.
Yeah,
And
I think
as we talked about, like course corrections are so important. So
yeah, for sure. Like you see yourself going down the wrong path or a path you don't want to go, you got to correct that. But
yeah, I agree.
I think that they were talking about peaks and valleys. If you're in a valley or if you're in a peak or somewhere in between, it doesn't, or not that it doesn't matter, but you always, or what I believe at least, you're always right where you need to be.
Facts.
Or right where you're supposed to be.
That's like Game of Thrones, Bran Stark.
Bran, sorry. I mean,
You're right where you're supposed to be.
You're right where you're supposed to be. It's in the coding. Like,
yeah.
Not only are you where you're supposed to be, you have no choice. But
you have no choice either way.
Being
100%
right where you are.
I agree, and it's funny because like.
So find the happiness in that.
Yeah, Bran Stark's version. That's definitely a spoiler. Bran Stark's version of saying you're right where you're supposed to be is more of a destiny thing. Jon Snow apologizes to not being there for him, and he's just like, you were right where you're supposed to be. It ended up how it needed to go, because theirs was a legit destiny thing.
Third Eye Randy.
Third Eye Bran, and I think it's true though. It's true though. Like obviously it's a fictional fucking thing, and like it doesn't matter, but like, and that's true. Like you're right where you're supposed to be, even if you think you're not. I mean, everyone has the will or the free will and the power to change their lives completely, but like, don't think about that. Just take it one step at a time. You're right where you're supposed to be. You'll get where you need to get because it's written for you. You know what I mean?
It's written.
I don't know if it's destiny. I don't know if I believe in fate. I don't know if I believe in that shit, but I do believe that you're right where you're supposed to be, and that it'll end up and it'll work out for you. And
everything is as it should be.
Everything is as it should be.
Shout out.
We talk about this a lot. We talk about like
yoga with Adrian.
Who's yoga with Adrian?
Shout out.
Yoga with Adrian. Is that some shits when you're on your grind?
On YouTube, she's a pretty prominent yoga instructor.
I'm gonna have to look that. I need to get back into yoga.
But she says everything is as it should be, a lot. So
everything is as it should be. I agree with that.
It's the same message, but
same thing. And yeah, how T-Beck, how do you navigate the highs and lows, or what do you think is a good way to navigate life?
Like I just said, like if you're a peak, you're a valley. You're right where you are supposed to be, and it's not about, you know, for me at least, working like your heart, or I don't know. It's a touchy subject, this life thing, you know, because no one's got the answers really, and no one. I mean, no one might never have the answers, but I think the best you can do is working towards those answers, I guess, because yeah, you want to be we've said it before, like the dog chasing the truck.
Dog tied to the truck.
Dog tied to the truck. If you run alongside the truck, you're gonna go with the flow. You're gonna be smooth. Your things are gonna be good. If you run the opposite way of the truck, you're just gonna get yanked and dragged along through life.
And it's gonna be painful.
And it'll be painful, and it could be avoided.
Yeah.
But regardless, you're where you're supposed to be. Whether you're running with it or getting dragged, you're still right next to that truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't get away. You'll never get away. And it's funny because I did see this thing where it's like, if you're an overthinker or if you're somebody that stresses about something, basically, like if you got a problem going on and like you're overthinking and you're stressing about it, essentially you're stressing and overthinking about it twice, is what it was saying. Because before something has even happened and you're just like anticipating it, like you're stressing about something that eventually
you're
will
just
be happening.
making it up in your mind.
It
doesn't even exist.
Exactly. Like you're already stressing about something that hasn't even happened yet. So it's like they just say, like, instead of stressing about it twice, just live in the moment and then stress about it when it gets there. So you're just saying, like, if you got a problem that you're anticipating could happen and like could be an issue, like you're stressing about it twice. And he's like, what's the point of stressing about it twice? Like it hasn't even happened yet and you're already pissed about it. Like, why do that to yourself? And
exactly.
That's like stood out to me. Like I saw that recently. I was like, damn, that's like so true. You like, like if you're you know, you got a big test coming up and like you're scared for it and like nervous, like you're already like setting yourself out and stressing yourself out for something that hasn't even happened yet. You know what you do? Get on your grind, do your thing, and then when the test comes in front of you, that's when you kind of, you know, you'll get a little nervous, but you know you put in your time and your effort, you just put in your grind, and you'll be fine. So basically, what it's saying is like, instead of, you know, stressing about things multiple times more than you need to, only live in the moment and stress about it when it gets there, if it even gets there. Because
if it even gets there, because a lot of times you're just making it up in your
own
head.
problems, and making up your own problems, you kind of manifest your own problems. You know what I mean? Like you kind of
and create more problems for yourself.
More problems, exactly. You know what I mean? The brain is a powerful thing, and you know when you stress yourself out and you get in your head like that, your brain legit like releases, you know, stress chemicals like cortisol, and it affects you. It hurts you, and fatigues you, makes you sad, makes you depressed. You know, it hurts you.
We're scientists out here, ladies and gents.
It's a true thing. It's a true thing we've talked about. You know, it's like your body releases these chemicals, and it can really change you. And it's like I forget who I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody and I was telling them like that exercising is a drug, and they're like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. And they're like, how is exercise a drug? Like a drug is like cocaine. No, what a drug, in my opinion, is something that releases those serotonin chemicals inside you, those oxytocin, those good hormones that give you a high. And when you exercise, your body releases those hormones, those feel good, that dopamine, that rush, that adrenaline. And like people get addicted to it because it's a fucking drug. Caffeine's a fucking drug. Like, and like you wouldn't even think of it. Like it's a drug because it releases these chemicals inside of you. That
most common drug in the world, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And
more common than exercise.
And it's a legit drug. And like, so yeah, your body will release these things, and like you just got to be able to feed it. Give your body what it needs, feed it, take care of it. And yeah, don't sweat the small things. Live in the moment. Like I just saw this thing recently of J. Cole.
Shout out, by the way.
Shouts J. Cole. He could be retiring soon, which sucks. So that's
right.
I love J. Cole. I hope not.
I hear that every day from someone in the industry. Yeah,
he actually did confirm he's retiring.
One more album and I'm out, bro. And I'm out. Yeah, right.
He did confirm it. He said he's dropping his album called The Fall Off, and then that's it. So
And that he'll never make music again.
Well, I don't know, because
Cap.
Logic
He
said
will.
Logic said he was retiring from music, and then made 3 more albums
Yeah,
after that.
Rod
So
Wave said the same thing.
did he actually?
He tweeted it.
He's young, dude. He's Cap. But Logic and J. Cole are guys that are like, in their 30s, like kind of in a spot of like possibly retiring. I don't know, but that's besides the point. But J. Cole was talking about meditation, right? And like, I believe meditation is important. Like, we've talked about this before, that like meditation doesn't have to be like with the monks in a synagogue with the om and the fucking hands. Like, that's not meditation.
That is meditation.
It is, but like that's a stereotype of it. Like,
Yeah.
you can do it that way, but like there's plenty of ways of meditation. And basically, like what he was just saying, for him, like meditation is just like legit being self-aware and existing in your moment and like focusing on something like that's happening currently. He's like, it'll be like just like I'll just be focused on my breath, or if I'm in nature, I'll just like listen to the birds and I'll just be focused on something that's happening. Or he's like, if I'm in this room, I'll listen to the ceiling fan. He's like, just being present. Like, he's like, when my thoughts go somewhere else, I kind of just try to realign my thoughts back to what's happening right now. He's like, I'm not worried about what my problems are in the past. I'm not worried about what problems I'm having in the future, or what problems I'm having right now, or whatever thoughts I got going on. Like, he's like, I'm not trying to be slave to those things. What I want to do is just be present in the moment, realign myself to just like take time to just be self-aware, and that like in this moment I am existing and like I am a part of this energy and bigger energy around me type thing.
It's beautiful.
And I agree with that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's deep, but like I agree with that. Like, you gotta be, one with yourself, one with the world, because like it is. I do agree in energy. I think energy is a real thing. Would you say?
Absolutely.
100%. Like,
energy, wavelengths.
Yeah, it's so tough to like
that.
talk about something that isn't like super tangible and concrete. I feel like people struggle to
shout out Concrete, TMT Concrete. Shout out.
Shouts. But
give it up.
Yeah. But I think it's so hard for people that don't have a tangible concrete thing that like they can't grab onto, that they can't grasp it or understand it. Things that are conceptual, things that you can't see, the things that are intangible, that people struggle with to understand. And like I get it too, because like I used to struggle, I still struggle with it, but like
yeah, it's definitely a lot harder to understand things you can't
see. It's a feeling,
touch, feel,
it's hard
sense.
to feel things because
you're not using your senses.
Exactly. People are so trained to be focused on
so it's like a sixth sense.
Seeing is believing, right? People are so trained to think like seeing it is believing it, right? Like the physical, but like sometimes it really is believing is seeing type thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to just believe it and you see it. And like,
yeah,
I think energy is a real thing, because you and people know energy. Like, you'll be around a certain person, you'll be like, damn, like, I don't know, I just didn't like that person, or like, oh, that person's awesome, because like you felt an energy from them, and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? For sure. And like, if you feel that energy, it's like it's a real thing. You know what I mean? And that's like just one example, and like that's like the most obvious common example. There's plenty of different ways and forms of it. So yeah, just never too high, never too low.
Go with the flow.
How can we wrap this up in a good bow, T-Back? What else you got to say? Like,
I would just say, like, stick with the theme. Like,
fuck yeah.
Surround yourself with
good, positive people, things,
good,
media.
Positive people, energy, especially.
Actually, that reminds me of something I want to talk about really quick. I did see this thing recently that like, people were arguing the views of depression. Like, some people believe depression isn't real, some people think it is. Obviously, it's a real thing, but like, basically, someone said like, I believe depression is a real thing, but he was like, but I also believe that if you don't take care of yourself, you don't eat right, don't sleep right, don't exercise right, don't consume positive things, put yourself around negative energies, essentially like not giving yourself a fighting chance.
Yeah.
And like, that depression is just because you're not taking the steps to help you get out of it. But like,
facts.
You know what I mean? Like, depression is real. Like, if you are doing those things and you still feel depression, like, that's just like a real mental illness that is occurring. You know what I mean? But like, if you're like, one of them was like not getting sunlight, like that's a fact. Like, if you don't get sunlight, that shit affects you. Like, why do you think in the winter people are fucking miserable? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so yeah, I guess like that, for me to tie it up, if I had to tie it up, it's just like like depression is real. Shit fucking hits hard. That's why like never too high, never too low is so important. And like yeah, just like consume yourself fully in good things. You know, like we just talked about intermittent fasting, exercise, eat right, sleep right. You know, train right. Like
Take care of yourself.
take care of yourself. Most
Your
importantly,
body, your mind, your spirit.
yeah, a lot of people.
Everything helps. Everything
Absolutely.
helps.
A lot of people, you know, don't put that love into themselves. You know, a lot of people like struggle to find the idea of what love yourself is. And like I get like I'm still in my own process of loving myself, you know, being secure with my insecurities, things like that. And like the biggest thing
and I feel like that's a never
lifelong,
ending.
yeah,
never
it's a
ending
lifelong thing.
journey.
But I think like the biggest thing about that is just like putting that love into me. You know what I mean? Like whatever love you had, you know, had for someone else or have for someone else or whatever love you're giving elsewhere, sometimes you got to check yourself and give that love to you. Spend that money on you. Spend that time on you. You know what I mean? Like
Put a little love in your heart. I don't know who sings that, but shout out.
But like, yeah, like some people will forget that like you got to love yourself too, and like not love yourself like you're secure with your insecurities, but love yourself like okay, like I'm gonna go, you know, cook myself a nice meal. You know, I'm going to take care of myself, eat something good that fuels me. After I do that, I'm going to go exercise, take care of myself, you know, do that. After that, I'm going to get some nice sleep. And, like, you just feel fucking better. Like, a lot of people don't put that love in themselves. A lot of people will just, like, put shit into themselves, you know, like, go on a fucking bender and expect, like you're going to feel great. Like, no, it's not true. Like, if you're going on benders and, like, you're not consuming the right shit, like, your shit's gonna be fucked up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
I think that's just what I want to leave with people is just like love yourself, give yourself the shit that you need. Like, you know what I mean? Don't focus on anyone else. Like, don't focus on the FOMO. Don't focus on, you know, shit that's happening. Just like, you know what? I'm tired. I think I'm gonna stay in on a Saturday night and just get some fucking sleep. And some people are like, oh, I can't do that. I'm gonna miss out on this. Bitch, you ain't missing out on shit. Get your fucking rest. Get up on the next day. Get on your fucking grind. You're not missing out on shit, dude. What you're missing out on is yourself and in your.
If you were to go out on a Saturday night, you're probably missing more than if you weren't to go out.
I agree,
but
100%.
Yeah, put in. You get out what you put in, so
Absolutely.
You want to put in some good stuff.
Exactly. So that's just what I want to leave there. Just like take care of yourself and love yourself and never too high, never too low. What do you got, T-Bag? What do you got to close it out for us?
Yeah. I mean, just to go off that, I mean, you want to be, we already said it, you're always right where you need to be. So if you think you're in a valley, if you think you're at a peak, you know, just know that you're meant to be there and just live your life accordingly.
And that's bars.
Yeah.
That's bars. I agree. You're right where you're supposed to be. Don't forget that. Just keep doing, keep grinding. Just be better. That's all we can ask for. Better than yesterday. 1% better than yesterday.
One day smarter. You're always riding shoddy.
When
the bikes are in the back.
Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Today we kind of just went off script today. And I loved it. Every second of it. It was dope. So we're going to keep doing that. I like off script. But if you guys like the scripted or the off script, let us know. We'll keep doing it.
Let us know in the comments.
Thank you for riding shoddy with the bikes in the back.
Yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Dance us out.
All right, we got one song. Here's the next freestyle. If you watched the last pod, you saw the boys freestyle a little bit. We went a little crazy. Nothing too crazy, actually.
Let's see what the Bice got this time.
We like music. We like to freestyle. We like to get creative. So we suck. We know that. We're just getting better, though. So, T-Bag, you starting us off?
Yeah. This is like a spooky theme. Shout out the scary movies. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out the scary movies, yeah. I'm gonna go to the beach and stare at boobies, yeah. What? Yeah. You know Randy in the deep cherry Jeep. He is the guy who's gonna eat a peep on Easter Sunday when he is getting laid with some chickies with the... I don't know. I bought it. Pass it to Randy.
In this house, in Luigi's mansion. Me and your girl, yeah, we skeleton dancing. Yeah, me and Prancer, Domin, and fucking Vixen. All them other deers like Rudolph. I forget their names. I bought it too. It's okay.
I think we need a new beat. Whisper something sweet in your ear. Yeah, I'm tryna treat it like I got no care in the air. Yeah, my feet are going so crazy that I run like a deer. Yeah, enough of that. Let's get back to the track. Yeah, Randy, me and Randy, you know us. We are going to go off and I'm not making any rhymes. I'm gonna pass it to my guy. Randy, go, Randy.
Just another day getting by, getting real high. Me and T back, you know that's my fucking guy. Yeah,
Back.
yeah. What do you want me to say? Hey, it's just another good day. Shout out Ice Cube, yeah, that's my dude. He is a nice guy and he's a good dude. Lets me know every single day a fucking blessing. Yeah, you know I'm eating that Caesar with a side of dressing.
Yep.
Shout out Liberty Bell, getting that shit, ain't going to hell. And I am very spiritual, and I'm going to make a fucking miracle.
Yep.
Like the fucking Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
Bet you when you see me, you better duck.
Yep.
Got my 2 Glock 9s with me and Tech 9.
Yep.
Me and my Nina, yeah, she really pretty, yeah, prettier than yo bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, heavier than my fucking glick.
Yeah, you glick. What's a glick
I meant
now?
to say my dick.
What's a glick now?
Whatever. Hey.